Coming up on show 411, Rivian's new catchphrase, MG's new electric car, and a plug-in Ford truck. All those stories and many more coming up on today's show. Plus, of course, we answer your question of the week and set a brand new one as well. Well, good morning, good afternoon and good evening, wherever you're listening in the world. Welcome to EV News Daily. Happy weekend. It's Sunday the 10th of March 2019. My name is Martyn Lee. I've been through every EV story I can find over the weekend, and if I'm honest with you, it's a pretty quiet weekend. Still plenty going on though, lots of news to bring you, and thank you to 2 new Patreon supporters. You've been busy on Patreon. I appreciate the support of each and every one of you who makes this show happen. 2 new producers of the show joined up today, Oliver Van Bilson and Chris Smith. Oliver, Chris, thank you both for joining up, and thank you as always to myev.com. Now, they have been helping me make this show for many months now, since last summer. They're also busy building the world's first marketplace for buying and selling and learning about cars as well. EVs, I should say. Haven't got to sift through all of the fossil cars to find one you like at myev.com. It's all EVs. No spoilers for the Formula E fans listening in Hong Kong. I won't say anything, but a great race earlier today. Fast racing, tight and twisty circuit, and a controversial end. If you're still waiting to watch the race or just the highlights, I highly recommend you do. As we enter a brand new week tomorrow, well, it's going to be a big week for electric cars. Looking ahead at the diary for the week, the Tesla Model Y is going to be unveiled. Some say it's a 3 with a taller body. Others say it's actually because of that popular SUV/crossover shape, it's going to be even more desirable than the Model 3. It was the March 31st, 2016 when the Model 3 was unveiled. So we're almost 3 years on from that date. You can live stream the event on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Oh, that's Pacific time. Now, one of the podcast supporters is going to be there, and what I'm hoping to arrange with him is that maybe give it an hour or 2, and then I'll give him a quick call. We can record a very special podcast from his perspective of someone who was there, but not so much an automotive journalist, but just a fan of Tesla and a Tesla driver who managed to get himself an invite. So, I'm working on that. Leave it with me. I won't jinx it by saying any more. Tesla has added the Model Y to their website now. The menu at the top is actually in the correct order, so you can find out more about the S, the 3, the X and the Y. Yes, it spells sexy. And then you can find out about the Roadster. So it's sexier. So that's what's in the diary for next week. And your weekend watch, if you're looking for something on YouTube to watch, is the Joe Rogan clip that I'll put a link in the show notes. About a 3-minute Joe Rogan clip where he says that so many of his combustion car loving buddies have given him a really hard time. But even though he's got cars like Porsches in his garage, now he owns a Tesla. He says that when he gets back in those other cars, they don't make sense to his brain anymore. It's such 19th century technology, making things go bang and making cylinders go up and down. His brain now just can't compute that there is any better way than driving than with his Tesla Model SP 100D. Of course, he went big. Okay, let's get into the news then, and let's talk Rivian. The new image of the Rivian R1T, that's the electric pickup truck, shows us a glimpse of the Rivian factory and provides us with what could become their motto, says Eric Loveday for Inside EVs. Rivian's been pitching us the R1T and the R1S adventure vehicles for a while now. Yes, they call them adventure vehicles. We see what could become the automaker's tagline or motto. Maybe not the catchiest of phrases, but it does reinforce their adventure vehicle approach. They are off-road capable vehicles, and Rivian is surely pitching that point to the world. Here it is then. Of all the paths you take in life, make sure a few are dirt, Confucius says. It could be their motto. I'll put a link to Inside EVs in the show notes. Moving on to a plug-in hybrid, and this time a company that is adding a plug to Ford trucks, Ford F-250 trucks, has earlier announced the XL hybrid system. Presents at the NTEA Work Truck Show in Indianapolis a plug-in system for the Ford F-250 Super Duty pickup, says Mark Kane at Inside EVs. The initial assessment performed by Excel indicates the potential of 50% improvement in miles. The reduction of greenhouse gases is expected to be 33% in normal operations. here's how it works. 15 kilowatt hour battery, rechargeable with the plug. The electric motor supports the engine. The XL doesn't have any real electric only range. So this is a hybrid vehicle and it has a plug, unlike other hybrids, but those other hybrids can normally do all-electric mode. This, we would call it a base electrification approach for times when there are no factory plug-in hybrids. It's a weird kind of version of a plug-in hybrid, but very interesting. I'll put a link so you can find out all the details in the show notes to Inside EVs. MG plans to open its scorecard, if you like, in their electric revolution with its first battery electric production car. The Chinese-owned brand's maiden electric offering is going to be called the MG ZS EV, based on their ZS SUV. Goes on sale in autumn here in the UK, says Dominic Wilde for Motor One. Got a quote here from Danielle Gregorius. He is the head of sales and marketing at MG. With the launch of our MG ZS Electric, we are delighted to be entering the electric car market at an exciting time with all of the practicality and versatility of a compact SUV, a full-sized boot, room for 5 people. It's without compromise. MG's trademark value for money approach means we're confident we can help more and more new car buyers go electric. Now, the fossil car version of this is £13,000. Call that, I don't know, what, $15,000, $16,000. It won't be that cheap, but MG is a budget brand here in the UK. So we're looking forward to seeing that. Right, moving on to Mini, a very exciting car that disappointed some this week. You're a fickle lot. The Mini Cooper SE Electric had its first reviews, specs and prices this week. I gave you a couple of articles to have a look at, but thanks to the Week publication, they go around and round up all of the different articles over the last 7 days on different topics, and they've been looking at the Mini Cooper SE, which, by the way, has just over 100 miles of range, which is where some people say isn't enough. Thanks to instant torque provided by the car's electric motor, derived from BMW's i3 EV, acceleration in the Cooper is brisk. There's a remarkable amount of traction on sodden surfaces, says the Daily Telegraph, but yeah, I should add to that although the technology comes from the i3, this is previous generation technology. This is not the next gen BMW tech they have available. Customers will find plenty of interesting technology on the Mini, says Car Buyer. For instance, there are 2 forms of regen, a system that recharges the battery once drivers take their foot off the accelerator. In its highest setting, customers can drive one pedal driving. So, you know, not that revolutionary, but it's good it's on the Mini. And no official word on pricing. Car Magazine said buyers should expect around £29,000. I'll put a link to the Week in the show notes. Let's talk Tesla Model 3, the best-selling car in Germany in the EV stakes. The Model 3 has shot to the top of the electric car sales charts in Germany in 16 days of sale only. 16 days. About half the month of February, Model 3s were delivered in different centres. Hamburg, Düsseldorf, Frankfurt, Berlin, Stuttgart, Nuremberg, Munich. Those are the delivery centres that Clean Technica is aware of, at least, as Alex Voigt for the article. In those 2 weeks of February, by the way, the Model 3 long-range, all-wheel drive is now the best-selling EV in Germany, even looking at the entire month. Only the long-range premium Model 3 has been delivered so far. 2 variations on that, from 45 to 76,000 euros. Since the 1st of March, prices have been reduced, of course, and it can be assumed that demand will further increase. Okay, let's get on to our question of the week this week, which was all about it was all wrapped up in the Tesla $35,000 Model 3 news, but in order to achieve that, Tesla said they're moving to an online-only sales model, and that over the coming weeks, months and years, they will be shutting down, not renewing the leases on those retail centres they have. They're going to keep them in shopping centres, high-footfall locations, but they've reassessed their business, and they think that this is one area that is just not needed. So I was asking you, do you agree or disagree? We'll start with John, who is Beardy McBeardface, by the way, on the socials. I'm fine buying online, says John, if I could afford a Tesla, that is. It's new to so many of us, it'll take time to adjust to the model, but it's the way it's going. You can buy most things online these days, so why not cars? What about test drives, though, says John? We need to open more places like the Milton Keynes EV Experience Centre, which is in the UK, and it is a place you can go and try a car. They're not salespeople there, though. They're not selling you one. You can go to the live shows like Fully Charged Live. That said, says John, 1,000-mile money-back Tesla guarantee should settle many worries. David Finch says, I think online only is fine in this day and age, but with one big sticking point, that's the highlighted thing I said on the show, test drives. Most people need the opportunity to experience the car before making commitment. David Partington says, once the initial pent-up demand for Model 3 is used up, will there be enough demand buying them online for all the S's and the X's and the 3s and the R's and the Y's? Although I think car sales will move online to a large extent, I fear that Tesla is one step too far ahead of the market right now. Yeah, I've heard people say they're ahead of the curve. Not necessarily in this case, but when companies move quicker than people are ready, they're ahead of the curve. Especially selling what is still, for many people, the first EV they'll ever buy. It's a risky purchase for some people. What if the car goes wrong? What if there are snags? You can't drive back to that physical space that you bought it from. What do you do? EV enthusiasts have their faith in Tesla, says David, but the EV curious, are they willing to spend their money? We don't know yet. Hi to Stephen. I think it's a shame Tesla's closing the sales studios. I was not a fan of EVs years ago, but I've become interested lately. I took a test drive of the Model S in Denver. I was blown away. Most people would be amazed if only they drove one. It's the quickest way to make someone a believer. Hello to Serverless Billy. When I bought my Model S, everything was done completely online, even the processing of my financing through a third-party bank. The only time I signed papers with Tesla is when I showed up to pick up the car. This is not something new. We do our banking online, renew our passport, and our licenses. It promotes convenience and cost saving. And if it hastens the move to sustainable transport, he is well up for it. Hello to John Fruworth. I feel fine with it, and is the way the future is going. It saves Tesla a ton of money. That's a good thing. As for test drives, as a prospective purchaser, you still have a number of options. Rent one for the day at your own cost, join a Tesla owners club, and arrange a drive. Even though traditional test drives are a thing of the past, where there's a will, there's a way. Dana Pearson. Well, I feel for the jobs that are being lost. The move is brilliant, he says. The roughly 12% cost reduction enables them to significantly reduce prices across the board. Cars sell themselves, as Elon has said. The only barrier is price for most folks, and he's right. Now, with loads flooding Europe and a bunch on US roads, word of mouth is king. And it's word of mouth which will sell the cars, he says. Hello to Art Lighthouse, who in many ways inspired this week's question of the week. I ordered my Tesla online. I thought the experience was great, better than the buying experience from a dealership. I love the constant updates. The vehicle was signed a VIN, moved through production, then shipping, delivery, and I appreciated that I could see and download my own PDF copy of the vehicle's overview, which included the price we were paying, the options selected, and the incentives available. Hello to Harold Gear Skalsvin. For me, no possibility to get a test drive, and the online-only sales strategy is really bad. 5 years ago, my wife waited until we had the opportunity to drive the Model S before we decided to sign the contract, and sign they did. Last summer, he says, we borrowed a Model X for a day before we decided to sell the S and get the X. Hello to Bruno Ariola. At first, I thought it was a good move. Good corporate move, saving money, like the online-only model that companies like Amazon use, but they will definitely need to offer some kind of service where they bring the car to you for a test drive. I can't personally picture me buying a car ever without test driving it. Walter McVeigh says, Tesla should have one flagship store in a very central location in each metro area. Sales should be well informed and engaging. Each model should be on display with each interior and exterior variant showing. Service should be customer-centric and specifically specialising in rare and expensive models like the Roadsters, and a flagship supercharger station to promote the transition for potential customers. Hello, Carl. Carl Kramer says maybe Tesla should partner with a national car rental chain so people can rent Teslas. The Plug Seeker is very famous here in the UK for his online handle, The Plug Seeker. If removing stores means the base price comes quicker, then I'm all for it. I think it's the way of the future. I hate having to haggle. Perhaps later we may even find costs of the S and the X coming down. More options may start to come in as standard trim. And finally, hello to Martyn Young. People will quickly discover that evaluating a car for a week or more after purchase is far better than a 20-minute test drive with the salesperson riding with you. Returning the car and cancelling a loan will not be a problem for some that they anticipate. After all, it's exactly the way that CarMax, where he got his Chevy Volt from, and it's consistently rated higher than many franchise dealers in customer satisfaction because you can return a car there and they'll sort the finance back into your bank account. Well, thank you very much much to everybody for answering our question of the week. That was a brilliant one this week. But now for next week's. Let's have a little bit of fun. Thanks to myev.com, they've set this question of the week, and we've been a bit serious sometimes, other times not, but this is a frivolous one. What slogan, motto or catchphrase would you print on a t-shirt to say something about electric cars? There you go. Get the old brain cells whirring. Let me know what you'd print. What slogan, motto or catchphrase would you print on a t-shirt to say something about electric cars? Let me know. And you know what? I think it'd be really cool that I should pick one or put it to a Twitter vote and actually have it made. I'm not promising, but let's see what comes in. You can email me, hello@evnewsdaily.com. Go onto the Facebook or YouTube comments and leave yours there. Right. Finishing off the show, a big thank you in the final tag of the show to all 198 patrons of the podcast. Our premium partners, Phil Roberts, Electric Future, EF.Energy. Hello to Paul Hussey, and you can hire your Teslas in the Chicago area. Electricmotoring.net is Paul's business. And hello to Brad Crosby, who sent me a fascinating email this week. I do want to get round to that very soon as I keep running out of time, but all about his thoughts on autonomy and how autonomous cars will take the place of delivery vehicles. I totally on board with what Brad was saying. I soaked it all up. Hello to our partners. Hello to David Allen, OEM Audio of New Zealand. Hello to evpower.co.nz if you're in New Zealand. Have you checked them out? What are you waiting for? Hello to Sasha Pallenberg. Hello to John, who is bearding McBeardface. And hello to Paul O'Connor, all partners of the show. And our exec producers as well, Alan Robson. Hello to Alex Panahini, Alexander Frank, Harold Giersch-Galsbein, Ashley Hill, Bjard Fuchstack, Barry Penniston, Bob Muir from GingerComputers.com in Dundee, Borislav Borisov, Brent Kingsford, Brian Thompson, Brian Weatherall, Brian Young, Cesar Trujillo, Chris Benson, Chris Hopkins, Craig Coles, Craig Rogers, Damien Davis, Darren Bird, Darren Sant, Dave Jewson, David Barkham, David Finch, David Partington, David Prescott, and Dirk Rutzat, Don McAllister, and his business, screencastsonline.com. Want to know how to use any Mac product? Check him out, screencastsonline.com. Hello to Enrico, Stefan Shillo. Hello to Frederick Rovick, George Clargo, Jack Oakley, James Storr, Jason Fan, Jeff Urbies, Jerry Allison, John Bailey, John Nodell, John Timmis, Juan Gonzalez, Ken Morris, Kevin Messon, Lars Dallager, Lawrence D. Allen, Leger Gzil. Hello to Louis Hopkin. Hello to Luke Cully, Marcel Lohman, Marcel Ward, Martin Croft, Matt Piccioni. Hello to Matthew Ellis, Matthew Gruby, Maz Shah, Michael Pastroni. Hello to Mike Rogers, Mike Winter, Neil E. Roberts from Sussex EVs, Paul Seeger-Smith, Paul Stevenson, Pete Glass, Philippe Mouchet, Philippe Calvet, Raj Badwell, Rajiv Narayan, Renee Schneider, Rod James, Rupert Mitchell, Scott Callahan, Seiki Payne, Steve John, Stuart Hanna, The Limousine Line in Sydney, Walter McVeigh and Zach Hurst. Well, there are 410 previous shows online for you to download for free if you want to. Subscribe for the new ones, hit that subscribe button, and you can get them first and free and automatically. In the meantime, we'll catch you for a brand new week on the socials. Just search EV News Daily. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow. And maybe this is a good slogan. There's no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.